All right, guys. Hi, guys. This is Jason Downer. I'm the co-host. Well, I'm the host of FreeFromHate's podcast, and I got my editor online with me, Ryan Bax, and just wanted to talk about some of the things that we got coming up. We're going to be interviewing other people that are former neo-Nazis, but also I'm going to be interviewing other people that believe or don't believe but dealt with racism in their lifetime, or I'm going to also have people come on air and just talk about what they see and believe in the world today. And so a lot of this wouldn't happen without Ryan, who's my editor and helps me out on the background of the burner and stuff. He is actually joined partners with me, so I just kind of want to give you the behind scenes of some of the things that goes on in the editing world, which I know nothing about. So that's why I got Ryan over here. So I just want you to kind of talk about some of the things and how our goals and what we plan on to do with this podcast.
Jason, he's been through a lot. He's a really great person. He's really, really doing a lot for the community and giving back. And that's why I fully support Jason and what he's doing and the movement that he believes in. I believe in it too. It's definitely a great cause, trying to reach out to people all across the world from all genders, races, ethnicities. We want to try to help everybody. So, Jason has great stories to tell, and I love to edit them and make them sound beautiful for you guys to listen to and hear. And it's a fun project. It's starting from humble beginnings, and we're planning to go, real big worldwide, all that. So, it's great. Make sure you guys subscribe to the Free From Hate podcast. Check it out, download it.
I want to ask you a couple things. As far as in the world today and what we're dealing with in society and, our president being who he is, and you see the rise of the movement and the hate crimes and stuff. I mean, yeah, you're a white person, but have you dealt with racism in your life, or have you seen it, or or am I the first person you came across as a former neo-Nazi kind of opened up about what I am? I know we're for most people that don't know who Ryan is, he's actually my coworker. So it's a very touchy basis on what we're doing. So, we keep work at work, and this is our work, and, whatnot. So I just wanted to touch things on you, in a general aspect of life. Have you ever seen racism growing up, and what's your views on what you think about racism?
Definitely. I've seen racism on both sides of the spectrum growing up. Coming up in the Pacific Northwest, born and raised, there is racism that exists throughout different communities throughout the Northwest, and I've definitely seen some of it. I've experienced some of it, whether I was just shopping or whether I was just, going out on a drive, to somewhere else. There's definitely all different kinds of forms of racism that exist that definitely need to be brought up and that are very prevalent in the Portland area. So that's kind of my little take on racism. It definitely exists. As a white person, it doesn't matter who you are, black, brown, white, it doesn't matter. Racism exists wherever you live, no matter what time or era that we live in. It's something that's prevalent and is real.
Now, did you know Oregon is built on racism? It was founded by KKK members, and back in the 1920s and stuff, it was actually, an all-white state. It was made, if you were black, you would be out by dawn, or else you'd be hung and stuff like that. Did you know, as living in the Pacific Northwest, as a white man, how does it make you feel that you live in a community that is based around racism stuff? Like me, I'm a former neo-Nazi skinhead out of the Portland, Oregon area, but I didn't grow up racist. I came into this when I went to prison when I was 19 years old. And this is kind of the first episode that I was talking about I went into a little bit of details about it, but not all the way, you know. So my thing is you don't grow up to hate people, and that's what I try to tell other people. You know, you're taught these things, and the thing is like a good example is you teach a dog how to do something. Same thing with humans. You can teach a human how to do something, and you train that human to do something. We're all aspects. We all learn differently, but if you find a pinpoint in somebody's life and find their pothole, you can reach out to these people and you can drag them into your own little world like you want to, you know. You got to see in the public's view and how white people are being looked at today, just because of Donald Trump, who is our president, and saying, you know, if you go back to the speeches and everything, let's make the borders higher, let's kick all immigrants back across the country and stuff. This is an all-white nation. Well, you know, take us back 50 years ago. This is what the neo-Nazis have been preaching for the last fucking 50 years, you know? Right. This is the same thing I was preaching to when I was recruiting people. And so the reason why I'm asking these things, as a person that's not a racist and never went down that road, as a person, you know, on the other side, how does it make you feel as a white person having this
all these circumstances that we're in?
This president that's in charge of the whole United States, you know.
Yeah. And, you know, I think you touched on a lot of really important points there, you know, starting back from, you know, Oregon being founded on, you know, white supremacy and KKK and all that. Yes, it's very true, you know, the Salem witch trials and all that. And then, you know, going on 150 years from back then, you know, there are going to be, you know, little pockets in towns, you know, that will have some toxicity, that will have people and gangs who will try to suck you into what was prevalent in the past. But, you know, from since then, every town, city, even country has grown to be, you know, beautiful and great, but all of them still have that kind of historic background of what we were all founded on, whether it's, you know, colonization, racism, whatever it is, genocide. Every single part of the world has that built within them, you know, and there is going to be something that exists that is going to suck people in to following that path, to, you know, to keeping these old traditions that are no longer, you know, part of modern society. And so, you know, it does kind of suck, you know, for those who to get in, but, you know, like you said, there's a pinpoint for everyone. There's something that's going to be able to pivot them and turn them around 180 degrees, whatever it is, you know, however they reconnect with people and with society and with their own city and their own town and their friends and their loved ones and all that. Kind of my little take on it, I guess.
There can be good outcomes. You know, most people that decide to leave, you know, there's a lot of us that are formers and are actually out there speaking about these situations and everything, and publicly going viral and talking and speaking, you know, like myself, you know, I've been on the Samantha Bee show, I've been on CNN, I've been on my local news here in Oregon. I help run a nonprofit working with inmates inside the prison system and everything else. So it's just like, there is good that comes out of people that do want to leave, but, you know, don't get me wrong, there is a price that we all pay for leaving this organization that's dangerous stuff. You know, like they say, it's blood in and blood out, and a lot of us have death threats over our heads and stuff. So, like, the things that we're doing is we do pay a price for these situations, but as me as a human being, it makes me feel better to speak out and give back and talk about my experience, but also let people know that there is formers here that are willing to help you out and do what we need to do to help these people disengage from hate groups. And, you know, like I said, I don't know if anybody's, you know, people are familiar with the Charlottesville of last year, the riot and stuff, the rally that they had. Well, you know, the same people that put that on actually went to DC a couple months back, and I had the chance to go there. And I tried to talk to the neo-Nazis, but wasn't able to get in. Things kind of got messed up in the DC area, and so, you know, the police really I want to say protected them, but as a law enforcement, that's their job, so I can't really discriminate or hate against that. But like, I just want to, it makes me wonder how law enforcement, like some of them that were minorities and colored people, how does it make, I wonder how it makes them feel that they're protecting neo-Nazis from the Antifa, but also on the same side, I consider Antifa a hate group too, because in the society today and how it is, Southern poverty considers them a hate group. But the reason why I consider it is because they're bashing out back against these neo-Nazis with hate, and so in order to make life better than it is, love wins everything. And you can't hate. If you're expecting to win a war off of hate, you're not going to win. People want that attention. People want that love. And that's the thing. It's like the neo-Nazis are full of hate, and that's what they like to experience. A lot of these people are broken human beings. They never had their parents growing up. They never, they don't have a family or whatever. They're missing some of them have been sexually abused, verbally abused, broken down as a child. So they find these other organizations, they reach out to them, or these organizations find something in that person and reaches out to them. And the thing is, a lot of this movement is being brought to you in the social media aspects of things too. People are getting recruited in from YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, everything, every social media that's out there. People are getting recruited into these neo-Nazi hate groups and stuff. And the thing is, what's allowing this? Why is your children getting sucked into this? Well, I can tell you one thing. You need parents need to pay attention to what their kids are doing. Be active in your kids' life. I hate to say it is sad that we're in a society where both parents have to work to provide for their family, but take that time out of your day to ask your child how's school doing. Be active in your kids' life. That's all a kid wants. And so you want these kind of things. Be active in your kids' life. So
right, totally.
Like I said, I was taken away when I was 2 years old. I was put in foster care due to my parents' drug addiction, everything. And so I was put into with my aunt and uncle. Yes, it was blood related, but it wasn't really what it cracked up to be. It's just hard because even thinking back at the situations and how I was treated and where I've come today too, I go back and look a long ways. I've come a long ways and I went through a lot at the same time, but would I go back and change anything? Honestly, probably not, because I wouldn't be where I'm at today, so that's kind of like helping back and giving in back to society. So, I just want people to subscribe and listen to the podcasts that are coming up. I got some people that are formers, and I'm also going to interview a guy that I was he's a Muslim guy, and I'm going to interview him here coming up in the next week or two. I actually met him in DC, and we actually talked and everything, and got to know each other. Very respectful and polite dude that I ever met. And so, I'm going to bring him on as a guest too, and I'm also going to bring on some former neo-Nazi skinheads and just kind of talk about things and get their take and their view on the racism and the hate in the world today. And this wouldn't be where it was. This wouldn't be a thing if I didn't have Ryan as my editor and stuff. I actually brought it up to him. He knows a lot about this editing and stuff, and he's new with the podcast. I'm new with the podcast, but we're working this, and I'm the one that threw the podcast his way, and we just kind of been doing this situation. And I hope everybody stays tuned. And it's not a lot. If you guys can support the Free From Hate's podcast, it's a pledge of $1 a month. Please share. We will be on iTunes and Google Play here, hopefully here soon. I got some things in the works. Just got to wait for the publish to come back. So please stay tuned. And I appreciate Ryan for all the things that you're doing. I don't know if you want to add anything.
Make sure to show some love, guys. Show some love for Jason and what we're doing. It's going to be great. It's going to be the next big thing. Also, make sure to check out the podcast. You guys know what it is. Free from hate.
Thanks, Ryan.
Check it out. Yep. Thank you.
Thank you.